Welcome Kodiak Alamer to the stream. Welcome JJBB 1261 to the stream.
Hello there. Oh man. So sorry. Well, it's a good thing you didn't hear me munching. I was eating some banana cake to go with my coffee. It had 17 seconds to go, and I'm like, wow, that was quick. Oh, good coffee today. Good morning, Cody. Good morning, JJ. How are you guys today? Hope all is going well. Wow, that's been a while since my microphone didn't work. It's been a while since I pulled a cubicle, Nate. All right. Now you can hear me. Now, now to bore everybody.
Welcome following Steve to the stream.
Well, Tony just popped in to say hi, going out in 10 minutes. Well, before you go, Tony, I was working on a new chat highlight. So when I highlight a message, let's highlight a message. Show you what I've done. Oh, Steve that just popped in to say hi. I'm going out in 10 minutes. So I did the chat highlight like a sticky note. How did that look? That look okay? Just something I was playing around with this week. Couple of things, you know, got the I changed the to-do list from a chalkboard to a dry erase board. So now it looks like this. So we have a more dry erase board. The chalkboard just didn't look right. So now we have a new background for the to-do list. And then I got the chat highlight as a sticky note. Yeah, I'm slow this morning. All right, so banana cake. My girlfriend makes strawberry frosting with banana cake. Oh, that's different. Yeah, my wife did a butter, kind of like a butter frosting, butter uh, powdered sugar type frosting. Tasty. And you're just making your coffee, about to make a late breakfast. Yeah, I'm sure you're a morning person now, aren't you? Hope that's going well. I hope everything's going well for everybody. It's not been a bad week. Uh, weather-wise, it's been pretty decent. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful today. It's going to be like 74 out. It's 66 right now. Bit chilly, actually. This is the weather that Vince would be like, oh, give me my blankie. But no, it's you know, slept with the windows open, woke up, wow, you know, it's a little cool, but it's nice. It's great sleeping. Um, we got lucky up in our area. We missed a couple of big storms this week. A little bit south of us, or through central Illinois into northern Indiana. Oh, they got hammered really bad. Um, is it some parts in Indiana have been without power since last Thursday. 90 degrees. Oh, wow. Lucky you, Tony. The rain in Spain. The kids had their dads, and the girlfriend had to work this weekend, so I got the house to myself. So I slept in a little bit. Perfect. And 72, yeah, I'm sure it'll be a little bit warmer, but maybe you'll get some of that coolness today. I've been working on power washing the house. We try to do it at least once a year. I say we, but it's me. You gonna get the power washing the house? No. So I've been working on that this week. The garden is, it's starting to end of the season. All the rains in the beginning with all the thunderstorms and that really started out the growth, but now it's to where too much rain, not enough lightning, and the tomatoes are getting too much water and are kind of splitting. So I don't know why that doesn't work. So let me add that to my to-do list. Let me put that in the right spot. There we go. Check out why points command doesn't work. So also with that to-do list, I have it appending to a text list. So if I happen to clear that here or something like that, I can go back. Let me show you. Let's see, which one did I put that in? Oh, excuse me. Install Linux Mint. Oh, let's see. We had an old laptop where they were planning to recycle, so I took it and gave it to my girlfriend. It's an old Fujitsu. I installed Linux Mint on it. Was going to put LMDE on it, but just didn't want to boot without modifying it. Mint. I mean, depending on cinnamon or XFCE. Um, I still have on another SSD in my system. I still have Linux Mint installed. Oh, here we go. So I have a text list going where it appends the date. And so if in case I clear something when I'm playing around with it or something, I have, a list. Some of it's just testing and all that. But I have a way to keep a list of what I've been wanting to do, just in case the stream one doesn't work, or I don't feel like bringing up StreamerBot to have uh, to see the screen. So I have that added to my stuff. I've seen my coworkers say Fujitsu is a crappy laptop. The firmware is super picky. What did I actually see the other day? Someone installed something on a Fujitsu. Was it a video or what? Tony, enjoy your evening or afternoon. You're still afternoon. Okay. So enjoy your evening, Tony. Afternoon, Tony. Your afternoon and evening, Tony. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I don't know I wonder if something like Ventoy. I wonder if something like Ventoy would help. Reason for mint is because the laptop has 8 gigs RAM, planning to upgrade to 16 if it's too limited for her college, and it's an Intel i5 Pro 4th gen, so it won't run Windows, or won't run Windows 11. Mint's fine. For it's stable. I just all the testing that I did with what I do on a stream and all the stuff that I add to it, Mint just does not keep up. It is not. It's something that personally, just for me, you decide yourself, but Mint just does not have that oomph to it. It's already 2 years behind. Because it's based on 2404. Oh, but Steve, that makes it stable. Yeah, but also any updates on in the last 2 years on Pipewire, and a lot of that stuff won't update properly or won't be updated at all. But performance-wise, Mint, just Linux Mint, I got it looking nice in that, but it does not beat like something like on Endeavor OS being on Arch, which has its other caveats, that go with it. But like a couple weeks ago, I'm not sure what happened, but my Pipewire Windows captures disappeared. My display captures. And I put a thing in the OBS forum, and it said it must have been an update because I got most of my stuff from the AUR. In fact, all my stuff for OBS is from the AUR, and they finally had done a release. But I didn't think Endeavor would do any type of updates. It took me an hour to kind of figure it out. I tried booting off a USB, but I think the firmware is blocked booting and off USB. Tried external SSD Ventoy, tried regular USB, and tried using Plop. Only way I can install Linux is take the drive out, put it in another computer. Oh wow. That's that's a few steps extra, isn't it? Let's see how the highlight works with a long message. Let's see what gets cut off. Do I not have it? Yeah, let me turn it. Okay, I gotta increase the height just so in case a long message comes through. And then that's why I have it cut off. There we go. There we go. That's much better. I should probably just leave that full screen anyway. Okay. Well, if on the his install that's strict. Well, Fujitsu I think is a healthcare or for government computers. Most of in fact, all my extra laptops and all that came from my brother-in-law who worked in the hospital. He worked network. He was one of their network IT guys. And when they were going to get rid of them, he would, take some of them I actually have a HP laptop that has no webcam in it. It didn't when it was ordered. It didn't have a webcam. But all the laptops came without. They pulled all the hard drives, which was fine. Just buy it cheap. I bought a bunch of cheaper 120 gig SSDs from Micro Center. They were like $10 each. And if they go, they go. The only thing that I use it for now is to monitor the stream. But I had issues updating, putting Linux Mint on my wife's Asus Vivio book because it's got a 32-bit EFI and a 64-bit system. And Linux Lite runs pretty decent on it. You can get Linux on most computers, most laptops. But to tell you the truth, are they as efficient as Windows was on them? I don't know. Everybody talks about Windows, like Windows 10, being bloated. But the Asus little book that my wife has, 4 gigs of memory on it and a 32 gig eMMC. And Windows 10 ran on it for 10 years. Now she can actually still use Windows 10 because, I purchased that laptop originally with Windows 10 on it. And she got the security updates through next year. I can always put it back on there. But she seems to be doing okay. I mean, Linux doesn't always replace Windows well. I mean, some people are, well, I don't care. I just don't want Windows. I'll suffer. But I hope it works out for your girlfriend's laptop. What else is going on? So as I say, the garden, I pulled a bunch of tomatoes and a lot of them split. I had some really big tomatoes, but like the top parts started splitting from getting too much water from the rain we had. But most of the tomato was salvageable, so I made I chopped up a huge batch of tomatoes, and then I halved the batch, and it was I think it was about 4 cups or more of tomatoes I chopped up, and then I made a fresh batch of pico de gallo and a fresh batch of a bruschetta. I pickled some banana peppers to put on sandwiches, and then I pickled some of the jalapenos just to eat because I like to torture myself with some heat. So the garden, it's the tomato plants are like every year I keep saying I'm gonna do something better with them. And actually this is probably the best crop I've had in a long time. Last year was a good one. This one was a great one. And then we did some big boys, we got some big boys. But all my cherry tomatoes, that you just touch a branch and then they start falling to the ground. So I got cherry tomatoes all along my garden ground. I gotta get me a little rake so I can get in there and that. That's all green peppers. They're just awesome. I had some nice big green peppers. I got to do something with them this week. And my blackberry bush is starting to come to an end. It's still growing, but it's not flowering anymore, so I'm not getting a lot of fruit. I've been You're supposed to, I think, if I'm doing it right, when a branch stops producing fruit, you're supposed to clip it. So I'm down to my last dozen or so blackberries. But the plant is just so fucking big. Oh, it's wild. I have to do something. I don't I don't know if I want to risk replanting it because when I replanted it, it took 2 years before it flowered. Excuse me. But it's been nice having fresh blackberries for breakfast. And the birds actually left it alone, but we have a bird feeder in our backyard. So they prefer protein over the sweets. I guess sparrows and robins, which we have plenty here in our climate, in our area, like blackberries. But if there's something like seed or for the robins, I mean, I don't lay down any insecticide at all. So the robins just have fun going after all the bugs in the lawn. So they've left. I haven't lost any blackberries to critters, so that's been pretty good. And the jalapenos, oh, they're nice and spicy. Nothing like fresh jalapenos. But to a comment Elon Musk made in an interview I think last month. I don't know how, I didn't watch the interview fully, and I don't remember how the question was worded. But I think they were talking about groceries and shopping and the price of groceries and that, but how people are growing their own tomatoes and that. And he's like, I don't know why people grow tomatoes because they taste better from the store. Like he knows. He doesn't do any shopping. Except for ketamine, I don't know. And speaking of Musk and segueing into electric vehicles, a friend of mine in Australia bought himself one of the Chinese electric vehicles. Nearly half the price of a Tesla, but with more quality to it. Now, you're not going to get those here in the States, but the quality in the manufacturing these days, and I guess we can thank Elon Musk for moving to China, and we can thank Tim Cook. They learned how to manufacture and factory-wise with Tim Cook and Apple, and that's how they do their cars now. It's like a post you saw on Facebook asking why people kill animals for meat when they can go to the store and get the meat. Yeah. Yeah, human beings, we're kind of like a funky group, aren't we? But yeah, there's nothing like a good garden in that. But my buddy sent me a review on the Chinese electric vehicle. Forget the manufacturer. But literally nearly half the price of a Tesla with much more quality and better electronics and that in it. Go figure. makes me think if I get I'll be 70 shortly, and I'm sure got a few years left of driving in me. But I think if it's feasible, my next vehicle may be an electric vehicle because it's. I probably got another few years of long driving. We plan to do a couple of hopefully driving vacations, depending on where we go, just to see the country a little bit more before it gets totally ruined. We're going to take a trip up to Minnesota. The karate school my son belongs to is having, they're actually originally from the Minneapolis area. And they're having a Diamond Grand Nationals. And he's a fourth degree black belt, so he's going to he's going to join it. And it's not cheap. It's been really good for him with the karate and that. It's been really good with him, for him. And it gives us a chance. I mean, the only other reason to go up to Minnesota is to go see the Mall of America. I'm going to go see the Mall of America. And hopefully I can meet a streaming friend that lives up that way. That would be cool. And let's see, what else? As far as audiobooks go, I am currently listening to Book 7 from a Danish author, Jussi Adler Olsen, the Department Q series. The 6 and 7, this is really good. I really enjoy it. If you liked the Netflix miniseries Department Q, this is what the books are based off of, or the movie, the Netflix series was based off of. Although the Netflix series did theirs I believe in Scotland. The books take place in Denmark, Copenhagen area, and that. But this one's this book 7 is really good. So I've been enjoying that. And when I start listening to audiobooks, like my podcasts that I listen to, they kind of go to the wayside. I haven't listened to any of my podcasts now in a month. I'm still on the list for the new Craig Johnson Longmire book. I started out on the hold list, on the wait list, 56th. Now I'm on, I think I'm down to 9. I could have gotten the book itself already, but it's either do stuff and listen to an audiobook, or sit there and do nothing and read a book. The only problem sometimes with an audiobook is you phase in and out and you're like, oh shit, I just missed some important stuff. And my wife will, like, when she listens to an audiobook and she's doing stuff around the house and it's, she doesn't have her headset on, she'll replay back a chapter. And it's like, I just, and I end up listening to that chapter 3 times in a row. So that's you can, like, when you're driving too, you kind of phase out and don't particularly listen, so that's the bad thing about an audiobook. But I like the narrator of the um, Department Q books. I really like the very first narrator because it sounded like he was, had a Scandinavian accent and that. For book two, the guy sounded like he would have been perfect for something like for Sherlock Holmes, not for a Danish book. But now they have for 3 through now 7, the same narrator, and he's been perfect. I really enjoy him. Some bad news in the last week as far as entertainers passing away. What was it last week? Hayden Panettiere passed away. 36 years old. She was just reaching 37. Those of you, if you're the superheroes, remember her from the show Heroes as a teenager that had, I guess, regenerative powers. And then most recently, she was on the series Nashville or something like that, which I didn't watch, but way too young, way too young. And then this past Monday, the drummer from ZZ Top passed away. He was 77. I was watching another streamer the other day. He goes by the channel Geefbird, 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 and he was talking about, you mentioned, Cody, that like someone on Facebook asked why people kill animals when they can go to the store and get meat. He was listening to one of their local radio stations not too long ago, and a woman called up and was very concerned of the signs on the highways that say deer crossing. And why do we put deer crossings across a busy highway? Yeah. Deers cross wherever they want. Deer's walking around. Oh, there's that sign. We can. Well, we're in such an age where I don't know what to describe it, what to call it. But idiocy or, stupidity or, you hate to think that people are that stupid that they believe, they don't think, or they believe in what other people say, or like just like something simple, deer crossing. That's for us to watch out for deers, right? The last, unless deers are keeping it a secret because they don't want humans to know that they can read or are super intelligent. Why those signs are up? I mean, look at flat earthers. I get standing, sitting here going, we can't be moving. I doubt. I don't believe it. And every bit of science, tested science, measured science, physics, and all that, they never went to school for, but they know better. They're lying to us. And it's not just what, it gets sad. We're going to go on a sad route here, but moon deniers or space deniers or on a flat earth or, vaccine deniers or, history deniers. But, what perpetuates that is like this, and TikTok is the worst. I watched this one guy called Culty Cats. What are these? I believe he was a science teacher from Scotland that does these. He pulls up these TikTok videos, and that's where it must be true. Like Cody says, Facebook always tells the truth. It must be true. It was on Facebook. It was on TikTok. TikTok wouldn't lie. No, TikTok wouldn't, but everybody else that's on there would. It's for clicks and money and. Now, I've never been out in space. Although NASA reached out to me and wanted to do a launch in my head because they heard I had a lot of space. But the conspiracy, the billions of people that need to keep it secret. It's sad. I mean, it's just it's, and these people are seeping into. I mean, we think MAGA and that's bad right now, or these people that are sneaking into government. What did I hear the other month? Louisiana was going to put up was going to try to pass a law to prevent jet airliners from leaving a vapor trail, or what they call a chemtrail. Those jets, 20,000 or more feet up in a very cold atmosphere, and the very hot exhausts from the jets, which condensate and cause a cloud, freeze particles and looks like clouds. But we're all like programmed to almost believe in this world, this dark, this, I don't even know what to call it. This environment of mistrust. Part of it, I understand. No matter where you are in the world, politicians and all that, they're all out for themselves. They're not out for us. So it's up to us to go after these politicians. I mean, yes, I am an anti-MAGA person. If you believe that, I have to kind of wonder why, but that doesn't mean that I'm really for the Democrats because there is no one in that party, in most cases, especially in the upper echelon, that are going to do us any good. So we're stuck between um, the lesser of two evils. And I don't want to kind of turn this into a very political thing in that, but um, I had a friend post on mhm, I am I uh that the worst healthcare and healthcare outcomes, the top 10 worst states are all red states. JJ says it makes you feel better. The UK only has bad political parties too. Yeah. What do we, fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. But my buddy posted an article that said the top 10 worst states for healthcare and healthcare outcomes are red states. And his son had put, but does it say anything about the blue states or the blue cities and their gun violence? So I did a search. Pulled up the top 10 cities. Now it goes back to 2024. And it's an FBI report. The two top cities for violent gun crimes are red cities. And everybody talks about Chicago. Chicago's not even in the top 10 list. You got Memphis, Tennessee, and you got St. Louis, Missouri. And there were two blue cities out of 10. That was Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, and Stockton, California. I tell people this: I'm not Democratic or Republican. I'm Cody. I just listen to both sides, knowing both sides don't care about me or any lower to mid-class Americans. Yeah, I mean that's. And and I don't go on Facebook that much, or I try not to, because of some of the stuff. And there are some the whole, you know, it's a trolling thing that's out there, right? I don't think half the people that believe in our current government really believe that. They just like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna fuck with somebody. And it's like children. I'm gonna say something about your guy, and you're gonna say something about my guy. My dad's better than your dad. Yeah, but your dad is a fucking bullshit. That's what we got to deal with day in and day out. I feel sorry for you, young people. I really do. I feel sorry for us old people because we're gonna be losing stuff. But the whole idea that just for humanitarian reasons, for humanity, for taking care of each other, this whole, well, I didn't have my education paid for, so why should you? I didn't have my medical bills paid for, so why should you? Why should you? It's like um People in the past didn't have air conditioning, so why should I? Well, you know what? Why do you think we fucking have air conditioning? Because people got tired of being hot. As stupid as that analogy is, but you know what I'm saying? And I know like there's people that are close to me that, you know, try to be a better person and see both sides. That's fine. I mean, to know someone, you know, is to here's a good video that sums up America politics in 20 seconds. Yeah, check that out. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. This I didn't have it, so why should you? Well, maybe because you have kids and you would like them to have it. You know, why, you know, and this is what kills me. Why should we have free health care? All right, listen, fucker. Come here. Why should we have free? We don't. I'm on Medicare. It is not free. Between what is taken out of my Social Security check, what I pay for in a supplement insurance, and have a dental plan too, I pay about $600 a month. What I get, and what we all can get, is better pricing. I mean, the stuff that I can get done right now on Medicare, I could never have done on Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is one of your better insurances. I'd be in debt. So, first of all, it's not free insurance. Okay? Not free. But we can have better outcomes. We can have better results. Oh, well, it should just be privatized. Oh, fuck, that's great. We have what we think is decent insurance through our jobs. Yeah, you guys in UK, you pay taxes, pretty high taxes, right? But you can go somewhere and not have to worry about walking into a doctor's office. I have to make appointments unless I'm extremely sick, and then we go to what we call urgent care. You want to see your doctor? Plan it 6 months out. You feeling any worse? Go to urgent care. And then maybe they'll fit you in. I mean, we could go on. Oh well, why should the country? We're one of the richest fucking countries in the world. Don't tell me we can't do it. Come up with a plan how we can. And yes, we wouldn't be paying. It wouldn't be free. It would come from our taxes. Cody. Okay. You don't have to tell me what what you pay for your health insurance and that what you're entitled to. We'll just say that okay, I'll use myself as an example. When I was working, I got paid monthly. So once a month, my insurance is taken out. What I pay my portion. When I pay my portion. And at the time for my wife and son, when he was eligible to be on it, was oh fuck was we'll say 1,000 a month. Probably a little bit less. I don't remember now, but it was up there. But again, a good portion was also paid by my company as a benefit. But I still had to go through to get we got decent pricing and in hospitals and that they always charge more because they know they're going to get less. So it always looks worse than what it is. But God forbid you don't have insurance and you have to pay what they tell you to pay. And it's always this negotiating that, but you still have to go through. I had it went up every year, an $8,000 deductible. So before insurance really kicked in, now we would get a good pricing in that, but we would have to cover that deductible. Now, if you're not sick or in the hospital often, it takes a lot to eat up $8,000 worth of deductible. Let's look at a Medicare for all. Now, take that same. Now, say like I said, I am between what's taken out into my Social Security for Medicare B, for my supplement that I get, and for my So now I'm paying $600 a month, but I get this benefit of better pricing and a deductible. You know what Medicare's deductible is? 200 under 250, about 200 no, $268. That's your deductible. Now I'm lucky. I'm outside of my back and that I'm relatively healthy. I have no high blood pressure, no cholesterol, no diabetes. I'm not on any maintenance medicine whatsoever. So I'm one of the lucky ones. But my carpal tunnel surgery. Because on other things, I've met my deductible, going to the doctor visits and all that. You know what? It was over $20,000 for the third surgery. You know what I paid? Nothing. But it's still not free. It's a benefit for all of us. So I would rather pay it's like putting money into a savings account right from your check without you having to go, well, let's see, I need to put away so much money this month. You figure what your take home is and you work on that, and then you have this money that's being put away. It's the same way. You're lucky you work in healthcare that you get Blue Cross and get an employee discount. Yeah. Or work, you know what? My wife, because she basically works, she works for a library, governmental institute. Now she's got to do an HMO, which means she goes for a doctor visit. If it's a $10 or $20 visit, she pays that up, but it's pretty much Also, your hospital has a pharmacy and you get a 50% off medication. You, you sure you don't get 500% off? I reduce healthcare costs by 500, 600%. Yeah, you get it at 50%. Guess what? And just imagine how much they're still making on that, Cody. Just imagine. What, it's we're getting scammed all the way around. Private entities are making, and then we want to privatize this. Steve, to cover all the costs to everybody in the country. If political entities can get it, everybody should get it. And having millionaires, billionaires tell me that I don't need something, it's like, fuck you. Well, without those millionaires and billionaires, everybody wouldn't have jobs. And oh, we could go on and on and on. Oh, excuse me a second. Oh, all right. So much for that. Every once in a while, I just gotta vent. But how many of your, the people that people that you love, you know, um, from mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, grandparents that have had major health issues and all that. How, the difference. Some have had good insurance, some have not. Some have not been able to, keep a job. How it's up to us to keep our job. But then some jobs just aren't worth it. I mean, all the 42 years I spent and the stuff I gave up for Walgreens, it's all in hindsight now. It's a lot of bullshit to put up with. But it was on me because I really didn't further my education and all that. But that said, I have a house paid off. My wife and I have been together for many years. We've had a number of cars, and that we're relatively stable. But every day, we're just one major healthcare issue away from being broke, like most Americans, except our political entities. Look, they're keeping Mitch McConnell alive. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, well. Fight the good fight. So Cody, JJ, have you guys? Are you interested? Have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? We went 2 weeks ago. I know I talked about it a bit. It's still grossing really good. It's one of the few movies lately that. But the Spider-Man movies seem to be made pretty well. This one, I would have been a lot happier As much as I like John Berthnall's Punisher, how much would the fan base have loved it to be Daredevil in there? I mean, my two favorite Marvel characters are Spider-Man and Daredevil. Part where they kiss, I knew it was too good to be true. Yeah. It's like, was it the magic kiss? Was it the reverse of Superman making Lois forget? As much as I like the Punisher, yours is Spider-Man and Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool, that would have been a different type of movie, but I think that's so it would have been okay. But I think Daredevil, um, yeah, it was Punisher that, was gonna take out Jean, but it could easily have been another character, from uh the damage control. Yeah, the magic kiss. I was about to crap on it until they show it was not real. Yeah. Now the question will be: did Jean Grey now at the end uh, um, let MJ and his buddy know? Remember the Spider-Man and Hulk fight was pretty awesome. Yeah, that was pretty good. At first, I'm like Hulk in there, Spider-Man, and I know in the comics they've all crossed hands, but you know. They've all crossed magazines, but yeah, that one pretty good. And then turning it, and then now having going through a change and having his own web shooters. They did kind of, sorta. That way, when the Spidey tracker picks up Spidey in Queens or whatever, and all of a sudden it starts moving off planet, and it's on that, like, the Ned tracker, right? The Spidey tracker that Ned made, and then there was like a Bifrost thing in that, and then Spider-Man somewhere out in space. Did you hear how uh, Doomsday is going to start out with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man fighting X-Men because their worlds are ready to collide? And then the others escape, but Spider-Man and Wolverine are still fighting. And I think that, yeah, I think Deadpool is supposed to be in it, at least in the beginning. And all of a sudden, they're gone. But did they get, taken away? So the two of them can be then part of Secret Wars. And now what did I hear? There's that what's his name from who played Scarecrow in the Batman movies? Um, he was in Oppenheimer. He was Oppenheimer. Is possibly another Doctor Doom? And then maybe in Secret Wars, the other Spider-Man's supposed to show up. Secret Wars will be so we have Doomsday coming out this December, right? November, December. Secret Wars comes out next December, December 2027. They'll be a year apart, just like Xfinity Wars and Endgame. And then I think the next movie after Secret Wars will be the third Black Panther movie. Well, they'll supposedly introduce Storm in that one and the new T'Challa. I know there's a lot of people that are tired of the superhero movies and all that, and Marvel started out so great, so much better than DC, but now they're kind of floundering in that. I know, like, Sony wanted another real multiverse movie with Spider-Man. And I did like a lot of the more practical effects they had in this Spider-Man. I really did enjoy that. And a little less CGI and the outfits and the costumes and that. But I like when she's trying to mind fuck Peter, you know. Who are you gonna be, Peter? The Spider or Peter? Choose. I'm gonna be both. The coworker, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So my coworker thinking Doomsday Doctor Doom is going to trick the Avengers, pretending to be a good guy. Well, I think that's the whole part of it. He's with them, but then kind of like um um he's you think he's a good guy, and then he ends up being the bad guy. And he creates Battle World or whatever. Which will it be the Void Planet? Still I don't know. And then all the subplots. Did Loki actually take? Because now, like, there's talking that Loki actually moved Steve Rogers from 616 past and moved him and Peggy and the baby to the Fantastic Four's world, and that's why Steve Rogers will be on the Fantastic Four ship. But there's a lot of stuff. Marvel's really good at, like, look at the stuff for Xfinity War and Endgame and the stuff they showed us, and none of that, or hardly any of it, was actually in the movies. They fuck with us. I'm still interested. I didn't we My wife and I went to see Spider-Man. Oh, my son wanted to see Supergirl, but Supergirl it's already out of the theaters. It didn't do too well. Um, but they are filming the next Superman movie, and that actually looks like it's going to be pretty decent. And I think the Green Lantern series is doing really well on HBO. You still haven't seen the Fantastic Four movie? I thought was pretty decent. It could have been a lot different. Do you know that? So Adam Driver is going to be Miss Doctor. Oh, what the fuck? I'm forgetting. They actually wanted Adam Driver. They really wanted Adam Driver for Mr. Fantastic. But I thought it was pretty decent. I thought it was pretty decent. But going with they're the only heroes like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man has to take on the X-Men because he's the only good guy superhero on his world. But supposedly he gets Doc Ock. From what I understand, some of the Sinister Six. He gets to side with them to try to save the planet. We'll have to see. We will wait. I know what I'm seeing in December. You've seen the older X-Men and Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, they plan to they had planned to do Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the Fantastic Four. But again, so like instead of Sony and Marvel working, or Sony and Disney, Sony then wouldn't work with Fox. They couldn't get the rights. But they were really working. Fox was really working on getting Spider-Man into one of the X-Men movies. So you can see it on YouTube. There's a scene where they're filming one of the in the first X-Men movie where they had someone dressed as Spider-Man accidentally come on set. Yeah, Sony being Sony. I get it. But then there's also a Universal, screwing around with Hulk. Like Marvel can put Hulk into any movies, but they can't do a standalone Hulk movie. I was kind of binge watching on one of the Roku channels. They had the old Hulk TV series, which actually lasted for 5 seasons. Which I remember watching, and I had liked it when I was younger, because I thought it was done. It was actually done like old '60s TV series, The Fugitive. But as I watch it, now it's like, oh my God, all the growling that they dubbed in for Ferrigno and that. Andy, what the fuck? What's up, buddy?
Welcome, Andy 242 to the stream.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate the subscribing. 10 months. Holy cow. You're going to make me cry. Andy, you're too nice to me. You just came home from the gym. How are you? Cody says there was going to be a Tobey Spider-Man 4 and it had all written out, but Sony wanted a new Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean, I like Tobey Maguire and I like Andrew Garfield too. I mean, there was something about, even though he was older, Andrew Garfield's youthful appearance. You're exhausted and hope all is well on our side of the pond. It's here, Andy. It's here. We're just talking about some superhero shit now, you know. We were talking about the demise of America a little bit ago. It's here. Hey, Andy, check this out. I have a new highlight that I created.
What a boomer.
So my new chat highlight right there is a sticky note. I wanted to do something different. And then I changed the to do to a dry erase board because I wasn't liking the chalkboard. And the font is a scribble marker, so Cody hated the Andrews Spider-Man because I was closed-minded and wanted Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but with No Way Home, I rewatched Amazing Spider-Man and really liked it. Yeah, yeah. I should have watched because I have a set. I have all three Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. I should have watched No Way Home before going to see the new one. But I know that's what Sony wanted, another multiverse and all that. And I think it ended just fine. Andy says Henry Cavill is the only Superman. Yeah, I although I do like um Colin Sweat. That Garfield could never be a Spider-Man. He's Spider number 3. But now they do want to do a Toby. You know, they want to just do these other Spider-Mans, and they could do it. I mean, there was the comics was Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and a Spectacular Spider-Man, right? Tobey Maguire could be Spider-Man. There are too many of these movies, anyways. I just want it to be a decent movie. I mean, we were talking earlier, Andy, that as much as I like John Berthnall's Punisher, oh my God, how much better would it have been with a team up of him and Daredevil? And how Daredevil could have, you know, he been under Jean Grey's spell, you know? Oh, look, another Spider Man movie. I think No Way Home, they were going to make him younger, but Toby wanted to be the same age to show he's a veteran. Yeah, exactly. They should not have changed that. I just want it to be, you know, a decent. It's a comic book movie. You know, everybody, you know, when they change stuff from that, I think most people don't realize that how much they've changed in the comics alone, that what they changed in the comic books. You know, how many times the universe has been rebuilt, and then the difference from this, you know, the 60s comics to now, and you know, how campy everything was back then. And they talk about comic book accurate. You know, it's but yeah, Daredevil would have been Fantastic. You must admit you really like Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage. I haven't. Well, I don't have. Was that on Amazon? Yeah, they couldn't do it as Spider Man. But how I did see bits and pieces how he became the spider because he was bit by the man spider. You watch a little bit of it, Cody, and kind of forgotten it, maybe one or two episodes of it. But I'm not just all about. I mean, that's my genre and things like that, and I like action movies. Um, but there are a couple movies that I'm looking forward to that are coming out, like the um, yeah, going through old man moment here. Um, the movie Scrooge or Ebenezer. Before he was Scrooge, he was Ebenezer. With oh, do, 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 do. Oh, with Johnny Depp, the movie Ebenezer with Johnny Depp. So you know it's going to be a little humorous and all that. Because my wife, every year we go to see a Christmas Carol, and we go down to the Goodman Theater in downtown Chicago. This year we're gonna change it up a little bit. Out in the suburb here, Aurora, south of us, they have a Paramount Theater that is on par with some theater in New York and that. And we're gonna do the Christmas Carol there. But my wife she loves Christmas Carol, and so we're gonna go. We'll see Ebenezer. But there's a number of movies. I just watched. It came out earlier this year. Um, uh, it was about uh, preparing for the D-Day invasion, and Brandon Fraser played General Eisenhower, and English actor Andrew Scott played a English meteorologist, and you know, it was exciting as much as talking about the weather can get, especially back in the day. You know, they didn't have satellites and things like that. Um, but that was a pretty decent movie. So you know, if it's got good acting in that, um, I know there are a couple of movies that are coming out. Let's see, that are beyond superhero movies that I would like to see. Um, you know, IMDb has canceled my account because I haven't signed into IMDb. You know, you can find me on IMDb. My nephew, he did a when he was planning on being a movie creator in that. He went to cinema school, cinematography and that, and he did a movie and
Here
we
is the
did
main
bit
view,
parts.
boss.
Okay. Yeah, I had my 15 minutes in that movie. Let's see. All right, let's look at the release calendar. Computer, right monitor.
Here is the right monitor, boss.
Now, I didn't want to say anything, but I do have another movie coming out. It's coming out this week, tomorrow. 40 Years of Fucking Up. Oh, what timing? What timing? Then this is in the United States and that. Let's see. Toxic. What's this about? A fairy tale for grown-ups. A Portuguese rule crumbles in Goa. Oh. Okay. Let's see. We got Dog Stars. That's apocalyptic movie. Yeah, I did post a clip. Probably some of the most worst acting ever, but let's see. Um, boom, boom. Let's see, what movie was I thinking? There was a couple movies I was thinking about. Oh, I got the new Resident Evil coming out. If you like horror. Shaun the Sheep. Oh, this one actually looks pretty decent. So prime time is about the TV thing, the reality show To Catch a Predator, where they would set up these guys and they would think they're coming to mess with some teenagers. And Robert Pattinson plays Chris Hansen, who doesn't really look like him in that, but if I get the gist of it, Chris Hansen was kind of disingenuous. You're excited for Resident Evil? Yeah, Victorian Psycho coming out. Okay. Verity, Anne Hathaway, Dakota Johnson. Llewellyn Ashley gets hired by Jeremy Crawford to ghostwrite novels for his best-selling author wife, Verity, who's unable to finish after an accident. Oh, interesting. I like Anne Hathaway is always, I like her. Digger. This is a Tom Cruise movie. This is probably going to be one of his weirdest yet. Buddy's another movie you want to watch? Buddy, did we see Buddy here? Did I pass it? No, I didn't see Buddy. I thought I did. Maybe we'll run across it. Angel and the Bad Man. Is that a remake of the John Wayne movie? With Zachary Levi? Oh, he's still trying to make up from Shazam. And he's a MAGA actor. Neil McDonough. I love Neil McDonough. He's great. Street Fighter, the new Street Fighter will be coming out. Clayface. I am not interested in just the bad guys of DC or Marvel. They should have just done this as an HBO release. I don't think it's going to do real well. Let's see. Well, of course, Godzilla minus zero. That's going to be on my list. But they're doing, Bill Hader's going to be the Cat in the Hat. That should be funny. Ghost Soldier. So now Jim Caviezel's trying to make, back as a super. I've seen some of the clips for this. It seems like a lot of these older actors are going for this action genre. Ebenezer, of course, that's the one I just talked about. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, Paper Tiger. Two brothers pursue the American dream but get entangled in a dangerous Russian mafia scheme that terrorizes their family. Thus, their bond as betrayal becomes possible. No, this is the new minus zero. So that was minus one. So minus zero takes place now in about 5 years, a couple years later. And so with Godzilla minus one, we were left with Godzilla regenerating. And there's been talk that they might have King Ghidorah in this, which after the other Godzilla movie, I don't know, but that it might be another Godzilla. And then supposedly after this one, he's going to be done. So this one's minus zero. The other one was minus one. You got a coworker who's a huge fan of Godzilla. It's watching them in the 60s and in the 70s. The old Godzilla movies and that. I mean, you watch them now, and they're extremely campy, like Godzilla knowing martial arts and shit like that. But Godzilla minus one was such a hit was done so well. That's Kung Pao. But done on such a special effects right on a budget. Oh, actually, this one looks pretty good. This actor, I play Rocky. Is about let's see, Jay Duplass. He kind of looks like him in that. They should just use him because they're doing a prequel to not the Rocky movie, but to jeepers, I'm going blank. First Blood with the young Rocky, how he got to be where he was. I was never into Meet the Fockers or that. And why they're doing that, I don't know. Gray jogger, black woolly, everybody looks like him. Hey, yo, Andy, it's me, Rock. Terrible one. And for your Christmas-loving people, Violent Night 2 with David Harbour. Hey, yo, Paulie. Why you gotta be like that, Paulie? Oh, boy. So Doomsday comes out, Dune Part 3. I saw Dune Part 1 and 2 on HBO, or wasn't impressed. Now Jumanji, third installation of the Jumanji games, of Rock and all that. This time, different people are in the characters in that, so they're mishing that up. That's going to be pretty good. Such a ripoff. They never knew if they would even film Dune 3. Now, I've never read the Dune books, but I remember seeing the first Dune movie, which was okay, I guess. Beekeeper 2 coming out, yes, in January. Air Bud returns. You went to the Thai cinema watching the first movie, not knowing that there would be a trilogy. You're so pissed. Another Ice Age is coming back. New Garfield movie. There were some other movies that I know I seen that were coming out and they're not showing up. Next year, a new Sonic the Hedgehog. There we go. Next March, the new Godzilla and Kong Supernova. Oh, the new Spaceballs movie. You guys gonna see that? Is Sam Neill in? Yeah, I guess so. Dan Stevens is gonna be back. Let's see. This will probably be one of Neil's last movies. Doesn't say who he's going to play. Matthew Modine's going to be it. Delroy Lindo, I always like him and stuff that he does. No, no, no real originals except Dan Stevens from the second one. Now, actually, of the Star Wars movies, the one with Ryan Gosling, the Starfighter, um, from what I understand right now, this seems to be pretty good, pretty decent. Sam will definitely walk knee deep in dinosaur poo. I wonder if there will be a reference to Jurassic Park. Here we go. This is the movie that John Rambo. So this is the prequel to First Blood. And Nolan Centino is playing a young Rambo. Yeah, they would miss out if they didn't do something like, you know, to that. And then in June, the next Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. And supposedly, after Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is when they'll do the live-action Miles Morales Spider-Man. The new Superman movie next July. And tomorrow, Lex Luthor will have his suit. And they're going to team up against Brainiac. Oh no, the Bluey movie. Where's Vince? Vince, the Bluey movie. Chase Statham stole my bike. No plot to it, of course. Statham is trying to do as many movies as he can. I wonder if he sees the end coming. I don't know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem 2. There were some more other movies that I know I had seen that were coming out. A Place in Hell about living in America. Well, Steve, if you don't like America, move. Fuck you. Another Johnny Depp movie. He's starting to make his comeback again. Day Drinker. Enigmatic stranger forms an unlucky bond when a grieving bartender lost her lover, their lives intertwining in unexpected ways. Ooh, Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz. A Place in Hell documentary? Yeah. Oh, the sisters are playing in a movie together. Dakota and Elle. Elle's the prettier one. Lives of two sisters living in France are torn apart at the onset of World War II. The Exorcist Martyrs, okay. The flood, end of mankind. Oh, don't tell me. It figures. Kevin Sorbo. I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings with this Christian stuff. Oh, that's right. Michael B. Jordan, the Thomas Crown Affair. Michael B. Jordan and Kenneth Branagh. Oh, that should be good. K-pop, the debut. Wife and Dog. Coke Chameleon, the movie? Oh, it's a... Oh, Coco Melon. Coke Chameleon. Yeah, Steve. Okay. Coco Melon. Narnia. Glenn Powell, the comeback king. I was rewatching on the Roku station, one of the movie channels. They were running all the Expendable movies, and Glenn Powell. I didn't realize he was in the Expendables 3. A younger Glenn Powell. So I don't know. I know I've seen some other movies coming out. I think IMDb is, taking the cash to show their movies. Gateway to Amazon Prime mostly. Yeah, hey, did you see the uh post by Zach Bussey that there's an action lawsuit against Amazon and Twitch for that not letting anybody know about being opting out of training AI for Amazon? So there's let's see. See if I can find it. Oh, here you go, Andy. Finite's going to be building the white whale. You got the I already forget the space mission already. Yeah, they activated it by the time everybody opted out. They had scraped the good stuff. Yep. They I guess one of the CEOs or whatever of Twitch said, "Yeah, we didn't let because we knew that they wouldn't turn it on. That if we did the opt-in." So here's the Twitch and Amazon are being sued in a class action over claims that the tech companies harvest creators' video streams without permission or compensation to train Amazon's generative AI program. Yeah, so I think it was in the comments here too. Someone had said, so yeah, one of the CEOs or whatever of Twitch had said, yeah, we knew if we left it as an opt-in, no one would opt in. So it was all, a definite money grab. I mean, as creators, as streamers, I mean, it depends on what are they, because because we talk about stuff or maybe show certain stuff on our stream that they'll provide ads aimed to that. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't like a lot of ads anyway. I'll use ad blockers where I can. It's hard to get ad blockers on a tablet, and you go onto a page and there's ads all over the place. But I was never one that would go through a magazine and go, oh, look at this ad, but we don't pay anything to be on these platforms, So it's like a double-edged sword. I don't know. It is a dick move for sure. But it's, good thing, like, there's people like Zach Bussy or other people that look at stuff that that I should look at. Think about going to those
Welcome,
things.
Paul R73 to the stream.
Hello, Paul. How you doing, bud? Hope all is going well. And I know this partnership with Amazon is somewhere going to come back and bite all of us in the butt. But yeah, let's see. Where was that comment? But yeah, I know you can find us in that. You're playing mechanic on your van's radio. Oh, God. Well, you can do a MacGyver and crack a couple eggs in there, and it will fill up the holes. And I guess that's a temporary measure to get you where you're going. My gosh, I haven't had a deal with a radiator leak. I shouldn't say anything now. You just probably jinxed me. Thanks, Paul. Good advice. What, the crack in the egg? A lot more people have added to that, but yep. So I started just to get the practice again, and I haven't posted it on YouTube. I started making little video clips on Blue Sky. I made a thing. In fact, I wanted to do another one. And when I say I made it, always understand that it's a little caveat that not completely made with AI, but I did use AI to help me. Andy hasn't been on Blue Sky for a month. Blue Sky, me neither, says Paul. Steve is the only friend on mine. Well, thank you, Paul. And good. My thing is working from Tommy that posts on Blue Sky when I'm streaming, and then I believe the one on on Discord is working. Yes, that one's working. And Andy, did you hear about the new streamer? Well, you know, they had problems with upgrading the new streamer bot, especially on the Linux side. But Nate is already working on a new streamer bot to release, because right now it's on 1.07, and he's going to release a 1.1. It's an alpha. And he's making steps. He has replaced, when you're on Windows, you use the Windows voice control basically through StreamerBot to do voice control. Well, he's I believe he's taken out that connection, is adding Whisper. It's called whisper.net, which I almost used Whisper to make my OBS one, the one I have. Computer main view. So this one is made, the one I use.
Here is the main G-Boss.
Is with Vosk. And I know Vosk is cross-platform. I believe Whisper is cross-platform. So he's slowly taking out and replacing Windows things with Universal. So also Whisper will work on Mac. So your voice control will be, it won't have to go through Windows. So it's a one little step closer to being a native Linux Mac app too. So it was Finite Singularity's birthday. The Orion, right? The Orion. That's what that spacecraft was. It's done. I might consider streaming one day. Perhaps on a retirement day. Yeah, there are still some issues with, for some reason, and I haven't been able to fix it. You got all these people on Linux that are using the wine, and so I use the bottles install. It is actually easier, and I've been using it for almost 2 years now. there's an thing with the chat window. So I'm just using the web chat window, which is basically the same thing, but it's got some color, some issues with the light and dark mode. And then in computer right monitor,
Here is the right monitor, boss.
Thank you. So in with the C sharp, see there's this window here. You can see it kind of like opening and closing. No one knows what that is. And it didn't happen until updating to the 1.07. Of course, he released 1.05, then immediately released 1.06, then released 1.07. But see, there's this, I'm not, yeah, so it's, no, that's something else. So this box, no one knows what this box is and why it's doing this. It doesn't prevent you from adding code or doing the code, but it's a little bit annoying. So that's the issue there. I put in a suggestion for SpeakerBot. I don't know if he can do it. I don't know if it's, I don't think it has to do with Wayland. I really don't. There are actually many things that Wayland is better than X11, especially with OBS. So the X11 display capture and window capture, it uses like XSHM capture, which is basically X11, and it has to go through a process that takes it from ZRAM from your CPU, and then it processes it through the GPU, and then processes it through the CPU, which causes a bottleneck. And window capture or display capture on Wayland, like with OBS with Pipewire, is 10 times more efficient. And I have less problems with display capture on Wayland than on X11. And there's a big performance issue too. The thing about Wayland, Andy, is it's a state of mind. You know, especially when it comes to OBS, because you can't, because of the Ceph issue, you can't use browser docs. Now, I used to like browser docs, but I want all these docs on my OBS that start making my display even smaller and smaller. So I don't use custom docs. I have no need for them. You know, the chat, I use the chat either from StreamerBot or from the StreamerBot webpage. If I wanted to use another chat, I can use Social Stream Ninja or something like that. But it's a state of mind. You know, people just like, oh, it's just not ready yet. It's actually more ready than people think. It's just that a lot of programs have to change with it. But it's much more secure, where X11 and all that leaves things open. So any program can view. Wayland's just more secure. That's why you need permission if you don't have your display capture up for a certain, like, anytime I open up OBS, I have a Windows capture for my OpenGuesser game. But I don't always have that open. You need permission to run it in Wayland. You know, in X11, you don't. So you have no idea what someone's, you know, what is capable of being watched, right? For the black helicopter people out there, the conspiracy people. Okay. That's tech talk for today. But yeah, so I put a suggestion in for SpeakerBot to be able, if it's possible, to put something like Piper TTS in there and use ONNX files for voices. Quick, open the windows and give a friendly wave hello at the sky. Yes. And oh shit, yeah, we there's so I mean, between using AI to scrape our data, our viewing habits. You go out driving here in the States, you have to worry about flock cameras because they're going up all over the place. That's why they need these data centers, is for all these other things. It's not just for AI. It's for flock and all that, so they can all the it's all these criminals get away with shit. But if you're an average person, like in Wisconsin, um I don't think marijuana is really legal yet, especially the the little marijuana gummy stores and all that, that have the medicinal marijuana. So this guy for pain management uses them, but he drives from Wisconsin to Michigan to get them. I don't know who got wind of it or what, but the police department in his town used Flock to track him from Wisconsin to Michigan to the gummy place and back, and arrested him for bringing back marijuana, not just the gummies. And who wants to bet those flock cameras go blank when ICE is around? Oh, let's get into the real nitty gritty. All right, I'm talking too much here. All right, my friends. There, they downloaded an MP3. Hunt them down. Yeah, that's gonna be coming back soon enough. It's, I guess, piracy is back on the rise. People downloading stuff and all that. And all these game companies that aren't doing physical games anymore, and you may buy the game but you don't actually own it. That's pretty shitty, I think, personally. But anyway, so with going back to my techie thing with SpeakerBot, let's see. Where did I don't remember where I made that post. Let me take a look here. Here we go. So I added it would be nice if SpeakerBot was able to use .onx voice profiles. Usually it's found in more open source apps like Piper TTS. The use of ONX voices reduces the use of online AI voices like Google, Azure, Monster, etc. because all files are local and it's much better than SAPI 5. And I use a small program called Speakable, which incorporates Piper as text-to-speech on Linux. And I voted for myself, but it doesn't show who, how many views that it had. I guess the AI voices are cool and all that, but man, sometimes they take, depending on your internet. Netflix and the like did forget that they are just slightly more convenient than downloading. Yeah, and you know what? Oh, excuse me. Oh, good. My Discord notification is working too. Think I should piss off everybody on my Discord and just do add everyone? I know when I do that, I'll get messages from certain people. Dude, not everybody likes add everyone. Then why are you part of my stream? Why? So this is through someone. It's called the Better Announcement, Better Stream Announcements. On Windows, I'm able to use Mustache Maniac's announcement, but he uses certain DLLs and Windows setup to read Windows, and this one works on Linux and that. And then when I'm done, it will do this. And then after a while, I'll delete it. But I fixed this. This wasn't working for a while. I try not to, I talked about these people just doing stuff and trolling people and I've been accused of instigating. I'm the type we'll be at a family dinner and at times we like to pick on my sister-in-law and it'll be really quiet and I'll say something about her and then everybody starts picking on her and I go back to eating. I'm a shit. Oh, gonna be a beautiful day out today. I did lawn work yesterday. My gosh, the weather's just been between the rain and that. And I shouldn't have raised my lawnmower. Now I gotta cut it I was cutting it every 7 days. Now I should be cutting it every 4 days. And I guess I guess this next year we're still going to have a lot of. I guess next year could be a worse year for heat waves, Andy. Maybe the Blue Danube might not. It's definitely not blue anymore. Definitely not blue anymore. Down to 60 F. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, we're at 72 right now, and I don't think it's supposed to get more than it's gonna get down to 58 tonight. So we're 17C. So on my stream, you'll see that I do it the weather in C because a lot of my people are European or outside the states where they use metric and all that. And so I even do my year, date, month. Or year, month, day. But yeah, let's see. Here it's why did it block? Or did you just do date and year? But night well, it's higher than what I was saying 74 today. Now it's saying up to 77. Look at it, 58 tonight, 80 tomorrow, 74, 82, 79, 76, and then finally rain on Saturday maybe. Perfect. I got to finish up my power washing this week because I know once I really start getting into the power washing, it starts getting really cool. You're always confused when the month is first. You'll be like, what do you do? 23 August 2026? Is that how you guys do it? Or 2026, 23 August? Now here in America, we do it American way. The rest of the world should be like America. Although metric, when it comes down to it, metric makes more sense as far as measurements and that go, and weight, and it's all very, what would be the word? All better, more cohesive. Is that the word? More cohesive. Oh, well. Well, I am starting to get hungry here. My wife is going to be getting ready to go to work. I want to say goodbye to her before she goes to work today. My streaming schedule has been a bit off just because I'm kind of doing stuff around the house, cleaning, like power washing and mowing and that. I didn't do my Thursday Without Borders this week. Wednesday, we looked at all the other games you can play with Open Guesser. And Andy, if you get a chance, go back. Open Guesser, as a player, you can, and I think you can do this on GeoGuessr too. Create your own maps. And this one person did sexy locations, and you either started out on a street like it was a street in Germany, Busse, but it was PUSSE, or like there was a town in Brazil, Coxum. So anything that had like in Butsum or something like that too. So anything that had like innuendos to it, it was pretty fun. And that, but Lower Saxony. Your junior will get his license next week if all goes to plan. I'm already looking for a new car. Yes, I believe there's a town called Dildo on that, but there were a lot of, so we were looking at different games that I can do like Wednesdays differently in that. compared to Thursdays, but I didn't do my Thursdays without borders this past week. My buddy Vince in Australia bought himself one of the Chinese electric vehicles, Andy. Supposed to be very efficient, half the price of a Tesla, and quality is 10 times better. Yeah, I tried to get on. I know it's I try to get it on 3:30 my time in the afternoon. I try not to do it too late, but sometimes Thursdays are definitely I take my son a couple places, and when we get our ass going and we get there and I get back home to do it. But yeah, because it's usually you're 7 hours ahead of me, right? Or is it 8 hours? 7 hours? Because I know UK is 6 hours ahead. So, it's when I can get on without disrupting family life. It's 7 hours ahead, so yeah, if I'm getting on at 3:30, it's 10:30 or so for you. Okay. I might be able to squeeze in maybe a few more in the morning. But you work too, right? So, or would you watch from work? All right, my friend. So I got, and Andy, did I show you I kind of updated the to-do list? So I did it as a whiteboard now instead of a chalkboard. So, and then I added a new highlight. It says a sticky note. Exclamation to do. Exclamation to do done. An exclamation clear to do, to clear the whole thing. There we go. Make friendly emoji. Oh, I think it's
Welcome, Antique Mold, to the stream.
Hey, Antique Mold, how are you? I have to change it. So I think it's set up that if I do it on, it will be the same emoji for the same person. I could look at that and change it. Good morning, Mr. Antique Mold. How are you today? Sorry, I was just getting ready to head off. My wife is getting ready to go to work, and I want to see her before she goes. Perhaps profile picture instead of emoji like in the shout-outs. I think I like the emojis because they're kind of generic, and they go through Dice Bear. I can do the profile pic, and I could probably reset it up to where the emoji changes a little bit more. I thought sometimes it's fun. It's like a sticker is what it's supposed to be like. Even though the sticky note can stick, but it's like putting a sticker on the sticky note. That's what I wanted. And then just in case this gets like erased, I have a list going, a text list that when it adds to here, it adds it to a text list until I delete it off that text list. Kind of fridge magnet. And if you look at Dice Bear, they have a bunch of emojis. They have all different types. And I can easily change that up. And you get, I don't use it a lot, so you get so many free with it. But anyway, I better say goodbye. I'm getting hungry too. All right, my friends. Computer, time to say goodbye.
Thank you all for stopping by.
Okay, why did that? Oh, I gotta fix that so it expands. It's supposed to expand now. All right, thank you for Andy, the 10 months. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you, 444, to subscribe. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to Cody Akalamer, JJ, Following Steve, Andy, Antique Mole on Twitch. And why is my robot showing up on Twitch? And to Paul on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining. Tuesday, I don't know, usually tech streaming chaos on Tuesday. We'll see what I'll come up with on that. All right, everybody, you take care. Thank you again, Andy. Love you guys. Bye now.